For many years, people laughed at the notion of mental anguish, psychological trauma, injuries. After the Vietnam War, the phenomenon of what is now known as post-traumatic stress disorder was identified on a large scale. It was identified in a way that had never been seen before, truly identified and understood. However, now we see PTSD on a much, much, much larger scale. For example, 911. When 911 happened, the reported numbers of PTSD cases across the country just exploded, literally, with those two explosions, actually 3 explosions. It was a case where people are just horrifically affected by traumatic events that they see, witness, and live through. When you have events like a severe car wreck, where you're in a location where you're frequently there, it could be your neighborhood, it could be a highway that you tend to drive a lot to go to the mall or whatever, and you're in a really bad crash on that road. It may be after that you are just completely horrified of driving that. The thought of driving it makes you anxious. As you try to drive it, you have to turn away or do something else. You start having people take you there. That's known as a combination, or can be known as a combination of anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder. It's something where you need to talk to someone because they are compensable damages, but more importantly, it's better for your health because it can really, depression of any kind. And that's a variation of depression. I'm not a mental health professional, but I've worked many cases with special victims over the years. I've seen the effects of PTSD. So if you're not sleeping right, if you're not eating right, if you're fearful of certain things, if there's places or people you avoid, talk to a mental health professional and let your attorney know. And I assure you, if you come to me and we talk about things, one of the things I'm going to do is if we identify that counseling would be appropriate, I'm not a mental health professional, but I'm going to sit there and say, hey, let's talk about some options for you. Tulsa Personal Injury Lawyer .pro, Worth Law Office, 918-924-5528. Ask for Mike. I'm the only one here.